Okay, Mask Off Mondays with CantBuyDeem.
Take one. Ready? All right. First of all, I just wanted to thank you for being here and being a part of this, my brother.
Hold on, wait. First of all, should I look this way when I talk?
It's a series I started a couple years ago, and like the whole purpose is like for artists to be able to take their mask off, be real, talk about like what inspires them, like what they do on a day-to-day, ask questions. It started off as an event series, and I think we're gonna continue it as like a playlist, interview, and an event series as well.
Yeah,
so
more personable.
yeah, exactly, to bring you in. So my first question is, so who is CantBuyDeem? Like, if you could, if you give an elevator pitch on who you are to anybody.
I mean, I would say that I'm a kid from the south side of Chicago. I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a hustler, I'm a big cousin, I'm a big homie to a lot of people, I'm a little homie to a lot of people. But essentially, I'm just a kid trying to make art and show it to people because I would be making it regardless.
Facts. So let's talk about Low Key High a little bit. Was that your first official project?
I would say it was my first official project where like I knew what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I took everything down before that, so yeah.
No, fact. Because I look like, anytime I work with an artist, kind of like a lot. I like studying like different artists and seeing like, their timeline, seeing how they've progressed. And Low Key High was the first project I remember you dropping.
True.
So that was 2016. Right?
Yeah, man, that was a crazy time. It was a fun project. It was a real experimental time. Like, I feel like everybody says that's my most experimental album or whatever, and it's because everything in my life was changing at one time. You know what I mean? Like literally everything. Where I lived, like the people around me, my financial situation, like everything was changing at one time. So I guess I just was like kind of all over the place myself.
Cool. So who were like the first artists you can really name that inspired you to start doing music?
Man, real shit. The first time I ever heard Lil Wayne rap on anything, I was like, I could do this. It was I think it was like and it wasn't even like a real verse. It was like I remember that part, but I can't tell you none of Juvenile's verse. I'll tell you.
Yo, for real, Lil Wayne's verse really did, and we'll get more into Lil Wayne later into this. I got, a lot more questions.
True.
But Lil Wayne, like early Lil Wayne, people really slept on. Like the Project Chick verse was another. But we'll get into that later. We'll talk about Lil Wayne a little bit later. So, okay, when I think of CantBuyDeem, I think of rapper, entrepreneur, a designer, even acting, interviewer, event planner. So, what do you feel like would inspire your hustler mentality? I feel like you do a lot, and really like your brand encompasses a lot.
A lot of stuff I just do because nobody else was doing it, or nobody else was doing it for me. I always drew, so I feel I just love art, man. Like I love all different types of art. I purposely went to different art classes outside of me being in school, like when I was younger. And also, like I just had that mom that trying to keep me out the streets, so she put me in a lot of stuff too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did a chess club, like all this stuff. Like I just was into a lot of different stuff growing up. You know what I mean? So I guess it kind of manifested into me being into a lot of different stuff. Now I can't just watch TV or like do one thing. So I gotta constantly feed my brain with like something new, and that makes me put out a lot of stuff too. Or a lot of the things that I do now, I didn't even know I was gonna do in 2018. I didn't know I was gonna have like over 100 pieces of merch that I made myself. Like some of this one-of-one.
You can curse, bro.
Yeah.
This man's on Monday. We know how much you can curse as much as you want.
No, yeah, real shit. Some of it is one-on-one, and I didn't know. Like, so I just like I go with whatever. I literally have like high epiphanies. Like, would it be crazy if we? And then I just do it because why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, That's really it.
That's something I really respect about you, man. It's like your versatility and your willingness to try different things and experiment. So I always respected that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about Stowe. So Stowe,
Stay bossing.
so that was a beat from this, whack producer. This dude named DJ SKOLi. I don't know who that is.
I mean, he all right.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
He's
my main thing
years.
about that, I thought that was real interesting when me and you like linked up and I gave you like a group of beats. And like I felt like that beat was a little bit more experimental because I try to make, there's some beats I make I don't really expect people to rap on.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a lot of producers I talk to that kind of have that same feeling.
Yeah.
Like they have the experimental side, but they also make a generic beat that, typical rapper want to rap on. It's easy to flow on. It's like kind of training wheel beat. But I feel like Stowe was like a little bit like avant-garde, and it was different. But I really, I'm biased, but I like what you did with it. But like, what are your thoughts on like kind of rappers rapping on like unique or artists in general using unique beats?
I feel like that was kind of what you did for up until recently. You know what I mean? Like if you listen to anybody, like no matter what you feel about any old artist, none of their albums sound the same. They all pick different beats. They all pick different sound palettes. It all like sits in a different place in a different pocket. I feel like I like it personally, and for me, that's what sets aside the artists from the rappers or the artists from the singers. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can get anybody that ghostwrites you like a vibe. You know what I'm saying? But like if you're doing it yourself, like you're gonna feel different. Different shit gonna move you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, you know what I'm saying? Even being like one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be listening to the Tiana Taylor album, and I'm gonna go through it and I'm gonna hear something, and it's gonna send me off into a whole different wave than it would if I was listening to Jeezy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just I don't know. I feel like you gotta do it. And if it's not authentic if you're not doing that. If you're giving me the same sound all the time, I'm gonna get bored with it. And I mean, I don't think you should be calling yourself an artist.
Ooh, spicy take right there. I like it though. I agree 100% because I always try to get artists to, push the boundaries on like their beat selection and be like, yeah, let's. I mean, I'm like, people have their opinions on what beats they want to use, but that's always been my style. I'm like, I think rappers should get more experimental. Like my boy C Money in the building, he perfect example too. He raps on some real experimental and like switches it up.
And if you're a real rapper, dog, like student of hip hop, like if you gonna stand in a room with a bunch of old cats, especially like the way the game is set up now, all the people that are signing people are old rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not really like labels. Like the better deals are gonna come from rappers. They're gonna stand you right. They're gonna be like, here's a beat, rap.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna be like, there's like 30 people in here. I'm kind of shy. I don't know how I feel. This ain't really my vibe. What?
Yeah.
What?
Just get loose. Just do you.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
whatever comes to your mind. And okay. I'm not gonna stick on that too much. So let's get into Chili. So Chili, the album was, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the most Chicago albums I've heard in a while.
People keep saying that. I'm so happy.
And and like I've seen you like since that project, I feel like I've seen you make a lot. I'm getting off my notes right now. I've seen you make a lot of moves. You've done a lot of shows, like a lot of interesting things. I saw when you were at Feast, you were featured, and like I thought it was so crazy. The song Saudi was featured. What was it, ABC or
on the news?
Yeah,
right?
on the news.
Yeah,
like
right?
Saudi. Like I'm like, bro, we've been talking about Saudi. Me and my friends use that word like Saudi and salty.
Yeah.
Like just that's really Chicago. So I just wanted to tie like, okay, the Chili Project. Me personally, I thought it was one of the most Chicago albums. How Chicago is like influenced you and your artistry? I know it's a loaded question. I know it's crazy.
I mean, not really. I'm a loaded question asking ass nigga too. So like, I followed you. But, like, I'm gonna ask you this because I know that this, and this. So anyway, I would say, I mean, it influenced me in the aggressiveness and the fearlessness, I guess you could say that I don't consider fearlessness. You know what I'm saying? Like people say that word a lot, and that's why I'm using it now. But I guess it influenced my choices, like to never be scared to try something new. Because, just growing up in the hood, like you get thrown in uncomfortable situations and everybody's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like,
and people instigate it too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
Chicago do build that. Yeah.
So I feel like as an artist, it just made me not scared to try stuff. But also like to help me know who I am and stay rooted in myself, no matter what I'm doing, never to get too far from that. I mean, and other than that, like I wouldn't say like sonically, it influenced me in really too many ways,
Yeah.
Except for Kanye, you gotta give it up to Ye. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. He really pushes it. So I'm gonna ask that later. But okay, next question is like, I'm gonna get into the Pay Me Though EP.
Mm-hmm.
So that EP was really like I love Chili. I loved it. I was a big fan. Like, granted, I was biased because one of my tracks is on there, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it burn. And I'm like, I'm gonna show it love regardless, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Pay Me Though project though, when that came out, that really took my okay, Deem wants some real crazy. Like Deem really coming for heads in 2019, and it's produced all by Skeezers, right? Yeah, and Skeezers I feel like is another kind of. I mean, he's not really. He is pretty avant-garde, but his style is unique as well. Like
you talk.
No, that's my dog. Like me and Skeez really, that's like my brother from another. So, can you talk a little bit about that process of making that EP?
So, for anybody that knows, me and Skeez have been doing the Money Can't Buy You showcase for like 2 years. Me and Skeez got like 30 songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as if you look up what we have out, there's probably like 3 or 4 out there. And there's only just, the album was super personal, like my life and stuff. And me and Skeez make a lot of music on the fly, just like, so I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. Full disclosure, I'm a little high. I'm drinking this mimosa. But Skeez made no beats on the album because he had a song that was like it fit, but sonically it didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? So we just had to take it out so the album wrote a little smoother. And then that's my homie. Like this is an album about my life, and this is somebody that's been a part of my life for the last 3.5, 4 years. He ain't got nothing on there. And we got all this great stuff together. And one day we were just listening. I'm like, bro, like we low key could put out a whole Demon Skeez album right now. And so we just picked a couple of the best tracks. We didn't have a name for the project. These tracks are crazy, and it's insane that we've been holding on to them for this long. And another one, the Pockets was brand new. We made that, and then I think that's what really kicked it off. We were like, yo, like what are we doing right now? Like we keep making these songs at 2 a.m. and then just like putting them in the stash. And so we really just we put it out. And then obviously me being a underground artist at this point, it's like CantBuyDeem. Everybody want to call me for free shows, and it's like I don't care about money to a certain extent where I'm not gonna take something that outside of myself for bread, but like you gotta pay me for what I do. So I just wanted to reinforce that because it's like stop asking me to perform for free.
Stop doing this. Pay the man.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like
I love that concept. When I heard that EP, I was like, yo, you really on your talking your money talk.
I can't walk in the Leaders with a Leader shirt on and be like, I fuck with y'all. Let me get a T-shirt.
I mean, you could. You got it like that.
I mean, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? SKOLi, you could probably do that at Leaders. I mean, it's a store that I could do that at, but I wouldn't do that to the homies. You know what I'm saying?
Leaders right now under the millions. Shout out to Chicago.
Like, yeah, I fuck with y'all though. You see me, right? Yeah.
All right, this is the last question about your current music that's out right now. So, cool. Back at it, CantBuyDeem. So this is the last question I got about like your current projects. So Not For Sale.
Yeah.
You got 2 volumes out, right?
Yeah. Not For
Sale. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big fan of the first Not For Sale projects, and it gives me a nostalgic feeling. Like not even like. I don't know, like Chicago artists have done that, but I feel like it reminds me of like the old school, like DJ Clue, DJ Drama, DJ Envy, the things that made me want to become a DJ. Because I was like, DJ Clue, Desert Storm, Volume 4.
Yeah,
and then you had like the Fabulous freestyle and the Cassidy freestyle, and Jay-Z, Nas. And, you know, you got my boy DJ Earn Money, who's one of my senseis, one of the big homies.
Shout out Earn, for sure.
Yeah, shout out Earn Money. So it just reminds me of like a very pivotal part of hip hop that is not really prevalent nowadays. Like the Jack and Beats, like the 50 Cent, the Lil Wayne, as we were talking about a lot earlier, and the Gucci. Well, I don't know. Gucci. He was a mixtape king, but Gucci, the thing he did, he was like on like a lot of original beats too, like on the mixtape style.
Oh no, he was just dropping.
Yeah,
he was
dropping albums.
Him and Wayne was both like, they'd give you a mixtape. There'll be 4 brand new songs and then like 10 of other dudes' beats on there. And then sometimes you couldn't even tell because they'd be jacking beats from people you never heard of.
Yeah, and you were dropping some crazy beats, and I wasn't really, I didn't know what to expect with those projects. But when I heard it, like the combination of Earn talking, and it wasn't like annoying. It wasn't like no shade. It wasn't like a DJ Khaled or a K-Sled like yelling. It was smooth and it was like a good vibe. It was like
we got it.
Yeah, it was smooth. It was like I remember what like. Oh, I'm gonna save that question for later too. But yeah, I just like what was your like process in making that? Like what you talked about what inspired you with artists, but like what was that process like?
So I miss like the Lil Wayne mixtapes for sure. You know, the 50 Cent mixtapes was like a little bit before my time.
So you call me old now?
No. I mean, I just didn't really find out about him until he already had the album out. You know what I'm saying? I was like 9, I think, when that shit came out.
What, Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yeah, like I know I was like way too young to be listening to it for sure. Like my mom was real mad when she heard it.
Yeah.
But the Lil Wayne mixtapes, like nobody ever did that. And like I was saying earlier, you know, sometimes I just be like thinking to myself, like, damn, like, you know, what's missing? Or like, I mean, I'm a super music fiend and I'm used to like listening to new shit like every couple of weeks. And I think that's because of like Lil Wayne and the Diplomats. Like they did that to me in high school. Like they gave us something every like 2 to 3 weeks, right? And I'm just like, where's that at now? Like, so I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, oh, the mixtape's gone. And then, you know, obviously I'm by myself and I'm like, okay, cool. And I play some beats. I'm like, fuck it, I got a couple bars to this. And I literally just posted, like, just in my crib by myself on some feeling myself shit. Like, I could write like 50 mixtape songs right now, and a bunch of people commented, do it. And I mean, yeah, like that day I probably wrote like 2 or 3. And then maybe like 14 days later I had maybe like 15 more, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, how we gonna break this up? I ain't gonna put out one long ass mixtape. And then I was like, I want some features and, you know, just shit like that. Just the whole mixtape vibe, like try to bring niggas together. Niggas that I know hate each other. It's like, both of y'all come over my crib at the same time. Let's smoke and write this song. Like, cause it ain't really that deep. Y'all ain't finna box. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just been, you know, I don't know, bro. I enjoy shaking shit up. That's just, I guess that's, you know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of a part of hip hop and just what it is in general, you know, for it not to be so cookie cutter or whatever. So I just try to do whatever I can to go the other way. Like, you know, I don't know.
Oh, that's dope.
That makes me more of a hipster than, I don't know.
I'm rocking with that, bro. Okay, so my next question for you is your event planning endeavor. That was always advice, or a piece of advice I would give to artists. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're frustrated with not being able to get booked, not saying that you were, but just saying, I get a lot of artists like, yo, I can't get booked. Like, how can I get booked? Or like they really in my DMs a lot. I'm like, I can't book all y'all. Yeah. I can't book 100 artists per show. Even I might try. I can't do it. Like
nobody wants to see that show.
No one wants to see that show. And I always be like, hey, like one thing I always did when I first started getting booked was I got fucked over a lot. So I got fucked over by promoters. So I started like emailing venues myself. Yep. And it was hard. I probably get one response for every 20 emails. Yeah. And eventually I did, but I kept it going. I kept trying. One thing I commend you is like you got your own concert series, and the way it goes, like I can dig into how it goes, and like I really think it's a cool format. But even beyond that, like the fact that you're in Cole's bar, which is, it's Cole's. Like anyone in Chicago knows Cole's is a pretty white bar. It's in Wicker Park. It's like not a lot of
shows.
It's mainly rock punk, and like I just want to know like what advice would you give people like kind of looking to do things similar, like to throw show? I know you don't want to give all the sauce away.
Bro, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
First of all, that's one thing to not even to go away from the question. I hate that. Like, everybody that says like they're stealing sauce, you stole that shit already. You can't steal recycled
no
sauce.
No idea is original.
And you should be giving it away because you want young niggas to do better than you, so that niggas can do better in general. That's what it's all about. But we were talking about Coles, right?
Yeah. And just you like kind of taking your own destiny in your own hand, throwing your own shows and like spreading your brand through that.
So one thing was, like I said, like I just felt like it was missing. I'm like, and this is no shade to nobody, you know, but it's how I came up with the idea. I get tired of going to shows and hearing niggas perform over the beat. You know what I'm saying?
No, shade them.
So niggas come out they come out and they put on the song and they dance around and they do the ad libs, and I fucking hate that shit. And so I might listen to these songs in my free time. I might have literally just listened to this song getting ready in the shower, but I just paid to fucking get in here. You better be saying words, right?
You better be,
So I'm like, okay, we need real. I want to see shows where niggas rap for real. Mm-hmm. It's only a handful of niggas doing that, and most of the niggas that do so many other things that they throw like 2 of those a year, right? So I'm like, fuck it, how can I get this going? And I want to make it free so that people will show up and know what time it is. Cole was just super open to it. I went in there to talk to him about the idea. Crazy shit in the world. It's like, I don't know this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I walked in, somebody introduced me to him. You know, we set up a time to meet. And he was like, dude, like, I've been waiting for you to come in here. And I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it was already cool like that. Our relationship obviously has gotten like way better over time. And then we just started booking the rappers. And I mean, I know all the rappers because I listened to them already for real, you know what I'm saying? So we just started booking them, and I needed a solid DJ. Skis is the homie. Literally, the reason I call people solid is because Skis is solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why I have a gauge for if you're solid or not. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But real shit. So Skis came through, but what I would say is I started it mainly because I wanted to see that, but also because not just because I wasn't getting booked enough, because I'm not even performing at all of these. I feel like it's important for you to just do things that you want to see done instead of being like, somebody should do this, just do it. And you might fail. Like, I got lucky with the Money Can't Buy You show. We've only, out of the 9 of them that we threw, only 1 of them didn't bust, and it's because it was 420 and there was 100 events that day. You know what I'm saying? You can't smoke in Coles. You feel me? But so I got lucky with that. But like, I would say just try it. Just talk to people. Like, I didn't know Cole. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea he was waiting for me to come in there to throw an event in there. It's like, I don't know how he, you know what I'm saying? Like, but just try, man. Like, the worst case scenario is somebody's gonna tell you no. And I mean, I guess the best way to end that is like, y'all niggas hop in DMs all day, even though y'all got girlfriends. You can hop in the bar's DM and just be like, yo, what's up? Can I throw an event here? What's up?
And
it's that easy.
I respect that.
I'm calling everybody out. I don't
call
care.
them out.
You're not gonna do shit for me because I pay my own bills.
I'm gonna tell you 2 things. You might be lucky, but you know what luck is, right? When opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
So you was just prepared for that opportunity. And then B, what you said in terms of, like, just literally you popped in.
Yeah.
Like, people get an email, send an email, DM, if you get frustrated, no, you gotta be persistent. You gotta be borderline annoying. You gotta be like, literally make it happen. If you want it to happen, you gotta go up and beyond.
Oh, that's real.
What you did, that's really dope. And I'm glad we were able to talk about that.
Like I said, one more thing before you move on is you said when opportunity meets preparation, right? But sometimes you're not gonna be prepared. When I walked in there to talk to Cole, I knew what I wanted to do, I didn't know what it was going to be called. I didn't know who I was going to have or nothing. So, you know, don't always stress being prepared because you're not always going to have everything. Sometimes you just got to go, and that's the best way to learn, you know.
But that's a part of it, though. Like, you don't know. You didn't know you in your mind, but literally you were, though. Like, you was ready for that opportunity. You capitalized. Like, people underestimate what they can do.
True.
Every day. I do it. We all do. Sometimes we overhype what we can do. Sometimes we undersell. But it's better to undersell and then what's the word?
Over deliver.
Over deliver. That's it. All right. I just got 2 more questions for you. I know we kind of running over time.
It's all good.
So, you know, with artists, man, like, one of my pet peeves is when people try to put an artist in a box and try to be like, oh, like, I hear the craziest description for artists that I like, and I'm just like, what genre is this?
Yeah.
Like, I literally heard the genre, like, consistently artists I like are under the genre witch house. And I know that sounds insane.
I don't know what that
But
is.
I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. It's just something someone pulled out their ass one day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, you know, like Clams Casino.
Yeah, Clams.
Clams, fucking like kind of, not really ASAP, but he produces for ASAP and Lil B, a couple people.
I feel like, Clams was like the Currency, Wiz Khalifa, ASAP Rocky,
Yeah,
like early
yeah.
internet wave. He was going nuts, man.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of artists I like, they put them in the weirdest categories. And like, I think about you, you know, and I'm like, what type of artist? Like, and I don't like doing that, but I kind of do it just for fun. Think like, what category would I put CantBuyDeem? Like, you got like a lot of different styles. Like, you can look at like some trap influence, look at some like backpack influence. You got the song Backpack too, which is kind of like, I love that song. It's so dope.
Thank you, bro.
And you got like
Shout out
some,
Terry.
like oh my bad, yeah, I probably cut it out. But you got some funny, you got a little conscious, you got like a little realistic style. You got the hustler Chicago mentality. And like all together, I feel like there should be clever, like, cause it be making me laugh. Like, I'm like, okay, like a lot of rappers just be saying crazy shit, and it's just not clever though, and it's not like entertaining. Like, if you were to like but like all your stuff is tea, you know, it's like tea, and
I try.
It's pretty, it's fun. It's like it's got a vibe. So like, if you were to put yourself in the like a category, like I'm asking you to do what I'm too pussy to do. Like, put yourself in a category, put yourself in a box to a certain extent. Like, how would you really describe your music?
Yeah, so I have a hard time doing this, honestly, because, you know, I feel like I go through all the emotions as everybody, you know what I'm saying? So some days, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm in like a relationship, so I'm gonna make a lot of songs about that. But then, like, if you listen to my old catalog, there's gonna be songs about being a single dude and like the shit that goes through your mind then. Or like, you know, whatever. Like, I'm gonna have sad days, I'm gonna have happy days, I'm gonna have days where I wanna beat the shit out of a nigga, or I'm gonna have days where I'm like, yo, it's all about peace, and like, you just need to like, you know what I'm saying? But like, my homie, I feel like he described it the best way. He said one day, he was like, it's high energy conscious rap.
Yeah.
You know, but for me to describe my style, per se, I would say like, I like listening to people that say shit, but without using like big words. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I love Lupe, but like, I don't ride around. I can't read a thesaurus and drive the car at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would say like, I aim to give you like the same kind of like shit you get it from Kendrick, but from like more of a nigga that actually was. I was off the porch a little bit more, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. He lived in Compton, so you know what I'm saying? I'm not that tough. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? I was like out here hustling and shit. Like, his friends was doing that. You know, I'm smoking the weed, I'm doing the shit. But then and then I try to give you that same energy you're gonna get from Future. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are my 2 favorite people to listen to.
Yeah, that's a dope synopsis. Cause I was just trying to think, cause I've listened to a lot of your music in the last year or two, and it's just like, yeah, I don't always want to put it in a box, but it's like, it is interesting how it like touches like a lot of different subject matter and a lot of different styles and a lot of different beat choices. And no, I think that's really dope though.
My main influence though is being a nerd from the hood, bro.
Yeah.
Seeing and doing all of this shit that a lot of these niggas are lying about, but then also having friends from all over the world. 2 days ago, I was hanging out with my homie from Saudi Arabia. He's been living there for the last 10 years. He's, the last time I seen him was in college. So even him, I learned some shit from him yesterday that's gonna change my life. You know what I mean, on the financial side.
Like, you a cultured nigga.
Yeah, I crave diversity, man. I just try to talk to people. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna always find more ways that we're similar than we're not alike. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care how different we are. I'm trying to see what you know that I don't know and trying to put you up on some game too.
And we've had that conversation a couple of times just about being still having that having the street smart, but also being open-minded to new experiences. So that's one of the main reasons I wanted you to be the first person. I feel like you fit that aura and that's dope. So last question, we're gonna end it off with this. So what's next for CantBuyDeem? And by that I mean new shows, projects you're working on, goals, aspirations, whatever you're willing to share.
The immediate next thing is we stopped doing Money Can't Buy You showcase. We did it for 2 years. But I'm gonna
that's a big accomplishment. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but 2 years is shit. It's
a decent. It don't feel like it because you're just doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it went by real quick. But we're doing one more big blowout show at Cole's, and that's for the projects. It's called Not For Sale, and then all the acts on the bill are featured on the projects. Volume 3 has not dropped yet, but some of the acts are from Volume 3. And of course, Ern is DJing and co-hosting with me because it's only right. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could be smooth and teed at the same time like Ern. It don't even make sense. He'd be like, hey, how y'all doing? Put your drinks in the air.
Put your drinks in the air.
But I'm feeling delicious.
Yeah. I feel like
you know what I'm saying? Feeling luxurious. Touch my coat.
You like the Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This thing is, so that's gonna be lit. And then after that event, which is on the 18th of January, we're gonna be dropping a music video from Not For Sale 2 for the song Want Me with Reza and Jada Artist. Yeah. And then some point shortly after that, we're gonna be dropping Not For Sale 3. And then some point shortly after that, we got an EP coming with my homie from France. I'm not gonna say anything else about that other than it's gonna be fire. And we got a music video planned. It's gonna be dope. I got the album so done that it's right here, but I'm just waiting. Y'all gotta help me get my numbers up, man, so I could drop this album and they could pay attention for real. And other than that, man, I'm gonna just keep rapping, keep making music, and I might come up with a new idea tomorrow, man. I have no idea.
Fast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it.
One more thing. I got a lot of merch coming, so I made so much new merch, and I just been holding on to it, and I'm about to start posting it all literally tomorrow. It's going down.
Facts. Well, hey, Dean, thank you so much for being a part of this. This is Mask Off Mondays, Part 1, Volume 001. We got the open mic coming up January 13th where CantBuyDeem is going to bless us with a little set, and hey, that's it. Mask off, baby.
So you got to put it right back on that.
Oh, right, you got to put it back on right after you. And that's a wrap. Go.